Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुं सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। तुलसी राधे कुलुकानंद भगवान की
जय
जय
तो श्रीमद् भागवतम की
जय
जय।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा निशा
यस
Hare Krishna everyone.
Hare Krishna everyone.
हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन।
हरे कृष्णा।
तो रीना जी हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा भैया। हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन।
तो हम लोग will start reading the new adhyay today, which is 36th adhyay of 10th canto. And this 36th adhyay is about the Ariṣṭāsura Vada. Okay. So how the Ariṣṭāsura Vada takes place and what happens next is that is the Krishna Leela we are reading about. Yeah. So we'll start reading from Shlok first. Anilji.
Shri Badarayani Ruvacha अथ तर्यगतो गोष्ठमरिष्टो वृषभासुरः महीं महाककुत्कायः कंपेन्न खुरवीक्षताम्. Sukadeva Goswami said, the demon Ariṣṭā then came to the cowherd village, appearing in the form of a bull with a large hump. He made the earth tremble as he tore it apart with his hooves. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Ariṣṭāsura, and he is the so Gostam Ariṣṭo's Katha is being told, and Vrishbha Asura hai. Asur, he came in the Vesh Bhusha of Vrish, right? That's a bear. So bull. Yeah, so he came in the form of a bull. Ajay?
According to Sri Vishnu Puran, Ariṣṭāsura entered Krishna's village at twilight as the Lord prepared to dance with the gopis. Pradasardhe kadachit tu rasukte janardane traya trusayan samado goshtam Ariṣṭā sampagataha. Once midway through the period of the dusk, when Lord Janardhan was eager to perform the Ras dance, Ariṣṭāsura madly entered the cowherd village, terrifying everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, and this is from Vishnu Puran. Yeah. Nisha?
रम्भमाणः खरतरं पदाच विलिखनमहिम् उद्यम्य पुश्चं पप्राणि विषाणाग्रेण चोद्धरन् किञ्चिश्चक्रन् मुञ्चन्मुत्रयन्नस्तब्धलोचनः. Ariṣṭāsura bellowed very harshly and pawed the ground. With his tail raised and his eyes glaring, he began to tear up the embankments with the tips of his horns, every now and then passing a little stool and urine. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah. रीना जी?
Wait. यस्य निर्हादिदेनाङ्ग निष्ठुरेण गवां नृणां पतन्त्यकालतो गर्भाः स्रवन्ति स्म भयेन वे निर्विश्यन्ति घना यस्य कक्कद्वचलशङ्कया तं तीक्ष्ण शृङ्गमुद्धीक्ष्य गोप्यो गोपाश्च तत्रसो. My dear king, clouds hovered about sharp-horned Ariṣṭā's hump, mistaking it for a mountain, and when the cowherd men and ladies caught sight of the demon, they were struck with terror. Indeed, the strident reverberation of his roar so frightened the pregnant cows and women that they lost their um, fetuses in miscarriages. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
पशवो दुद्रुवुर्भिता राजन्यसन्तयज्ञस्य गोकुलं कृष्ण कृष्णेति ते सर्वे गोविन्दं शरणं युयुः. The domestic animals fled the pasture in fear, O king, and all the inhabitants rushed to Lord Govinda for shelter, crying, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when the Ariṣṭāsur comes in the form of a bull, everyone is trying to go to Sharanam of Govinda. Krishna Krishneti te sarve Govindam Sharanam Yayu. Yeah. Vinodji?
भगवन् अपि तद् वीक्ष्य गोकुलं भयविदुरतं महाभयस्तेति गिरश्वस्य वर्षयुरम् उपहव्यत्. When the Supreme Lord saw the cowherd community distraught and fleeing in fear, he calmed them, saying, "Do not be afraid." Then he called out to the bull demon as follows: Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gopaleha pashurбhimanda rasiteha kim satam Mayi shastari dushtanam twadvidhanam duratmanam. You fool, what do you think you are doing? You wicked rascal, frightening the cowherd community and their animals when I am here just to punish corrupt miscreants like you. Anilji?
इत्यास्फोत्याच्युत ओरिष्ठं तलशब्देन कोपयन् सख्युरंसे भुजाभोगं प्रसार्यावस्थितो हरिः. Having spoken these words, the infallible Lord Hari slapped his arms with his palms, further angering Ariṣṭā with the loud sound. The Lord then casually threw his mighty serpentine arm over the shoulder of a friend and stood facing the demon. Hare Krishna.
Supevam Kopito Rishta Kurinav Nimullikham Udyatpuch Shramanameg Kruddha Krishna Mupradravat. Thus provoked, Ariṣṭā pawed the ground with one of his hooves and then, with the clouds hovering around his upraised tail, furiously charged Krishna.
Yeah.
Me? अग्रण्यस्तविशानाग्रः स्तब्धा सृगलोचनो अच्युतं कटाक्षिप्याद्रवतूर्णमेन्द्रमुक्तो शनिर्यथा. Pointing the tips of his horns straight ahead and glaring mechanically at the Lord Krishna from the corners of his bloodshot eyes. Ariṣṭā rushed toward him at full speed like a thunderbolt hurled by Indra. Hare Krishna.
गृहीत्वा शृङ्गयुस्तं वा अष्टादश पदानि सह प्रत्यपोवाह भगवान् गजः प्रतिगजं यथा. The Supreme Lord Krishna seized Ariṣṭāsur by the horns and threw him back 18 steps, just as an elephant might do when fighting a rival elephant. Hare Krishna.
What we are reading is how Lord Shri Krishna is empowering Ariṣṭāsur. Tarun?
So, paviddo bhagavata punaruttadhaya satvaram apatata srinam sarvagno nim nischa sankrodha murchita. Thus repulsed by the Supreme Lord, the bull demon got up and, breathing hard and sweating all over his body, again charged him in a mindless rage. Hare Krishna.
Vinod?
Tam aptantam sanigrahya sringayah padasamkraya nipatya bhautale nisvidyam asayat yathardam ambaram kritva visanena jaghana sopatat. As Ariṣṭā attacked, Lord Krishna seized him by the horns and knocked him to the ground with his foot. The Lord then thrashed him as if he were a wet cloth. And finally he yanked out one of the demon's horns and struck him with it until he lay prostrate. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Srigivaman mutrishakrit samutsrijan kshipancha padana navastita kshana jagam kricham nikrit niritera tuksham puspeha kiranto harimidire sura. Vomiting blood and profusely excreting stool and urine, kicking his legs and rolling his eyes about, Ariṣṭāsur thus went painfully to the abode of death. The demigods honored Lord Krishna by scattering flowers upon him. Anilji?
एवं कुकुद्दिनं हत्वा स्तूयमानः द्विजातिभिः विवेश गोष्ठं सबलो गोपीनां नयनोत्सवः. Having thus killed the bull demon Ariṣṭā, he who is a festival for the gopis, eyes entered the cowherd village with Balram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay?
This verse exemplifies the sublime contrast of spiritual qualities within Sri Krishna. In one 4-line verse, we simultaneously learn that Lord Krishna killed a powerful and wicked demon, and that his boyish beauty gave festive pleasure to his young girlfriends. Lord Krishna is as hard as a thunderbolt or as soft as a rose, depending on our attitude towards him. The demon Ariṣṭā wanted to kill Krishna and all his friends, so the Lord beat him into a wet rag and killed him. The gopis, however, loved Krishna, and thus the Lord boyishly reciprocated their conjugal feelings. Hare Krishna.
Nisha? Nisha, Rinaji?
अरिष्टे निहते दैत्ये कृष्णेनाद्भुतकर्मणः कंसायाधाः भगवान् नारदो देवदर्शनः. After Ariṣṭāsur had been killed by Krishna, who acts wonderfully, Narad Muni went to speak to King Kansa. That powerful sage of godly vision addressed the king as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So when Ariṣṭāsur was killed, yeah, Bhagwan Narado Dev Darshana hai. So Narad Muni actually went to speak to Kans. Okay. And see what it says. Nice purpose. So let's read this. Tarun.
The term Dev Darshan can be understood in many ways, all of which are consistent with the context and purport of this narration. Deva means God, and Darshana means seeing, or an audience with a great personality. Thus, Dev Darshana, a name for Narada Muni, indicates that Narada has attained the perfection of seeing God, that getting Narada's audience is as good as getting God's, since Narada is a pure representative of the Lord, and also that Narada's audience is as good as that of the demigods, who are also known as Devas. That there are all these meanings of the term Dev Darshana reveals something of the richness of the Srimad Bhagavatam's language. From the Puranas, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura has quoted 20 verses describing a joking conversation between Radha and Krishna that took place after Krishna had killed the demon Ariṣṭā. This conversation, so kindly quoted by the Acharya, describes the origin of Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda, Radha's and Krishna's bathing ponds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what happens once Ariṣṭāsura is killed? Narad Muni goes to Kans, right? And we'll see what he talks to Kans. But then what is also being described here is after the Ariṣṭāsura was killed, Radha Kund and Shyam Kund was created. And if you have visited Vrindavan, you would have probably gone to the Radha Kund and Shyam Kund, right? Like they are next to each other, pretty much in front of each. Now, so those kunds, what happened and how it came through has been described in the Purans, and that's what I think is described here right now. So let's go to read, Vinodji.
The verses are as follows. Masman isprasya vrasa bhardana anta mugdha ghoro suroyam ai Krishna tad apay ayam gauh vrutro yatha dvijita ihaste ai niskriti kim sudhed bhavams tribhuvana sthita tirtha kricharada. The innocent young gopi said, Ah, Krishna, do not touch us now, O killer of a bull. Alas, even though Ariṣṭā was a terrible demon, still he was a male cow. So you will have to undergo atonement just as Lord Indra did after killing Vritrasur. But how can you purify yourself without going to the trouble of visiting every single holy place in the 3 worlds? Hare Krishna.
So what happens is once Lord Krishna kills Ariṣṭāsura, he came in the form of a bull, right? So that innocent gopis are saying that you have killed a bull, right? So that's a terrible sin, and you have to go through an atonement. Yeah. So prayashchit karna hoga, and for that, how can you really do it? Like you have to do something which Lord Indra did after killing Vritrasura. And the question they are asking is, how can you actually purify without going through the trouble of visiting every single holy place in the 3 worlds? That's the only way to do the atonement after killing a bull, right? Is what gopis are saying. Right? Manoj? Nisha?
Kim पर्यतामि भुवनि अधुनैव सर्व अनियतीर्थ वितातीथ कर्वाणि तसु स्नानं विलोकयता तवद् इदं मुकुन्दः प्रोश्चैवा तत्र कृतवान् बता प्राश्नि गतम्. Krishna replied, "Why should I have to wander throughout the entire universe? I will at once bring all the countless pilgrimage places here and take my bath in them. Just watch." With this, Lord Mukund stuck his heel on the ground. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Mukund, Lord Krishna says, I don't need to go through all these places in three world. I can just bring everything right here. And then Lord Mukund stuck his heel on the ground. Anilji?
पतालतो जलम इदम किल भागवत्या आयतम अत्र निखिला अपि तीर्थ संघः अगच्छतेति भगवद्वाचस तो यत्य तत्रैव रजुरथ Krishna Uvach Gopih. Then he said, "This is the water of the Bhogavati river coming from the Patal region. And now, O holy places, all you please come here." When the Supreme Lord had spoken these words, all the holy places went there and appeared before him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Ajay?
Krishna then addressed the gopis as follows. Tirthani pasyata harer vachasa tavaivam naiva pratima itita atha tirth varyaha prochuh kratanjali puta lavana bahir asmi. Krishna Kshir Badhir Asmi Smrutamaro Mutamra Dirghikasmi. See all the holy places. But the gopis replied, "We don't see them as you describe." Those best of holy places joining their palms in supplication spoke up. "I am the salt ocean. I am the ocean of milk. I am the Amar Dirghika." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Lord Krishna calls all the holy places. Gopi says they don't believe it. So all these holy places start speaking, right? So they are introducing themselves. Tinaji?
Tunupi sindhur aham asmi bhavami tamrapani cha pushkaram aham cha saraswati cha Godavari Ravi Sutta Saryu Prayogyo Revasmi Pasyata Jelam Kuruta Pratitam. I am the river Sona, I am the Sindhu, I am the Tamraparni, I am the holy place Pushkar, I am the river Saraswati, and we are the Godavari, Yamuna, and Reva rivers, and the confluence of rivers is Prayag. Just see our waters. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
ज्ञात्वा ततो हरेर अति प्रजागल्भ्य एव शुद्ध सरोऽपि अकारवं स्थितः सर्वतीर्थं युष्मभिरात्मा जनुष्या कृतो न धर्मः कोऽपि किस्तो अथा सखिर् Nijagata Radha. After purifying himself by bathing, Lord Hare became quite arrogant and said, "I have produced a pond containing all the various holy places, whereas you gopis must never have executed any religious duties on this earth for the pleasure of Lord Brahma." Then Srimati Radharani addressed her girlfriends as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so first gopis ask Lord Shri Krishna to do some atonement, Lord Krishna calls all the tirths there, right? He takes a bath in that. And then he says, like, but gopis, you have never done any religious duties, right? And so Radharani responds to that. Vinodji?
Karyam mayapi ati manohar kundam ekam tasmad yatadvam iti tad vakanena tabih. Sri Krishna Kunda tat Paschima Mando Garta Krito Prasabha Daitya Khurair Vyaloki. I must create an even more beautiful pond, so go to work. Having heard these words, the gopis saw that Ariṣṭāsur's hoops had dug a shallow ditch just west of Sri Krishna's pond. Tatra dra mran mrudula gola tatih pratiswah hasto dadharta anatidura gato vidya divyam sarah prakatitam ghatika dhvavena tabhir vilokya sarasham ismarte isma Krishna. At that nearby spot, all the gopis began digging up lumps of soft mud with their hands, and in this way a divine pond manifested in the short span of an hour. Krishna was astonished to see the lake they produced. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so all the gopis, so here Radharani is showing how the whole thing can come up, right? And so a divine pond manifested in the short time. Nisha?
प्रोचे च तीर्थसलिलः परिपूर्ययतेन मतकुण्डतः सरासीजसिकी सहालिभिः स त्वं राधा तद नानानेति जगदो यस्मत् त्वत्कुण्ड निरम उरुगोवध पताककतम्. He said, go ahead, lotus-eyed ones. You and your companions should fill this pond with water from mine. But Radha replied, no, no, no. This is impossible, since the water of your pond is contaminated by your terrible sin of killing a cow. अथृत्य पुण्य सलिलम शतकोटि कुंभभे साख्य अर्बुदेन सह मानसा जहन्वितः एतत् सर्वस्व मधुना परिपूरयामि तेनैव कृतिम् अतुलं तन्वानि लोके. I will have my countless gopi companions bring the pure water of the Manas Ganga here in billions of pots. In this way, I'll fill this lake with my own water and thus make its renown unequaled in the entire world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Radharani is saying she is going to get the water herself. Anilji?
कृष्णेन गीतेन सहसिता समस्त तीर्थ सख्यास तदीय सरसो धृत दिव्य मूर्ति तुस्ताव तत्र वृषभानु सुतं प्राणाम्य भक्त्या कृतांजलि पुतः स्रवद अस्र धृता. Lord Krishna then gestured to a heavenly personality who was an intimate associate of all the holy places. Suddenly that person rose up out of Krishna's pond and bowed down to the daughter of Sri Vrishabhavanu, Radharani. Then, with palms joined and tears pouring from his eyes, he began praying to her in devotion. Devi Tvadiya Mahimanam Avaiti Sarva शास्त्रार्थ विन न च विधिर न हरो न लक्ष्मी किंतु एक एव पुरुषार्थ शिरोमणि त्वत् प्रसवेद मार्जन परः स्वयं एव कृष्णः. O goddess, even Lord Brahma himself, the knower of all scriptures, cannot understand your glories, nor can Lord Shiva or Lakshmi. Only Krishna, the supreme goal of all human endeavor, can understand them. And thus he feels obliged to personally make sure that you can wash away your perspiration when you are fatigued. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So he's glorifying Radharani and basically mentioning that only Lord Shri Krishna, who is the supreme goal of all human endeavors. Yeah. All of us, right? All human beings. He is the supreme goal. Like, how can we achieve Lord Shri Krishna? Right? And then he's saying that he is the one who feels obliged to personally make sure that you can wash away your perspiration when you are fatigued. Right? So that's how he's requesting Radharani. Ajay?
Yes, Charu Yavuka Rasen Bhavat Padabjam Araj Napuram Aha Nidhadati Nityam Prapya Twadilya Nayanubja Tota Prasadam Swam Manyate Purana Dhanyuta Maha Prahisan Tasjan Jaiva Sahas Vayum Ajagama Tat Parshi Ghata Krato Kundavare Vasama Ivam Sat Parsidasi Karosit Kripa Kantaksham Tarthi Iva Tarsa Vitapi Falito Bhavan Na. He's always anointing your lotus feet, and nectarian Charu and Yuvika are decorating them with ankle bells. And he rejoices and feels most fortunate simply by satisfying the tips of the toes of your lotus feet. On his order, we have immediately come here to live in the most excellent pond, which he created by one stroke of his heel. But only if you now feel satisfied with us and bestow upon us your merciful glance, will the tree of your desire bear fruit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So he's requesting to have a merciful glance by whom? They are requesting, right, to do a merciful cleanse by Radharani, right? Because Radharani refused to get water from Lord Sri Krishna's pond, and that's where, this glorification of Radharani is coming from. Rinaji?
Tutim Nikhila Tirtho Ganashya Tusta Praha Sama Tarsam Aye Vedayate Te Radha Yama Tvadiya Sarasem So Phala Bhavam Iti Ev Na No Vara Iti Prakritim Todocha. Hearing this prayer spoken by the representative of the full assembly of holy places, Sri Radha was pleased and said, "So kindly tell me your desire." Then They then told her plainly, "Our lives would be successful if we could come to your pond. That is the benediction we desire." Agachateti Vrishabhanu Suta Smitasya Provacha Kanta Vadanabja Dhritakshi Kona Sakhiyo Pi Tatra Krita Sammataya Sukhadadhu Magna Virayejur Akhila Sthira Jangamas Cha. Glancing at her beloved form, the corners of her eyes, the daughter of Vrishabhanu replied with a smile, "Please come." Her gopi companions all agreed with her decision and became immersed in the ocean of happiness. Indeed, the beauty of all creatures, both mobile and stationary, was enhanced. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Varun?
लप्या प्रसादम अथ ते वृषभनुजया श्रीकृष्ण कुंड गथा तीर्थवर प्रस्यः भीतवेवा भीतिम अतिवेगता इव राधा कुंदम व्याधु स्वसलीलेः परिपूर्णम eva. Thus gaining the grace of Srimati Radharani, the holy rivers and lakes in Sri Krishna Kunda forcibly broke through its boundary walls and swiftly filled Radha Kunda with their waters. Prose Hari Priyatame Tava Kundam Etan Mat Kundato Pi Mahimadhikam Astu Loke Atrevya Me Salila Kelir Iheva Nityam Snanam Yathatvam Asi Tadvat Idham Sarome. Lord Hari then said, "My dear Radha, may this pond of yours become even more world-renowned than mine. I'll always come here to bathe and to enjoy my water pastimes. Indeed, this lake is as dear to me as you are." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so that's the story of the Radha Kund. Yeah, so you see how the Shyam Kund is created, and then the Radha Kund is created, and the Lord Hari, Lord Shri Krishna says, "My dear Radha, may this pond of yours become even more world renowned than mine." Yeah, so that's how the Radha Kund takes shape. Vinodji?
Radha Bravid Aham Api Swa Sakhibhir Etya Snasyami Ariṣṭā Sata Mardanam Astu Tasya Yo Rishta Mardana Sarasya Uru Bhaktir Atra Sna Yad Vasen Mama Save Sa Eva Mahapriya Astu. Radha replied, "I will come to bathe in your pond as well, even though you may kill hundreds of Ariṣṭā demons here. In the future, anyone who has intense devotion for this lake, which is on the spot where you chastised Ariṣṭāsur, and who bathes or resides here, is sure to become very dear to me. Rastotsavam Prakurute Isma Katatra Ratrayu Krishnam Buddha Krita Maharasa Harsa Varsa Sri Radhika Pravar Vidyud Alankrita Sris Trailokya Madhya Vitati Krita Divya Kirtihi. That night, Lord Krishna initiated a ras dance at Radha Kund, generating a torrent of the greatest mood of splendorous pleasure. Sri Krishna resembled a cloud, and Srimati Radharani a brilliant flash of lightning, filling the sky with abundant beauty. In this way, the divine glories permeated the expenses of the three words. As a final note, it should be mentioned that Narad Muni, being a great sage, understood that the killing of Ariṣṭā more or less concluded the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Therefore, Narad, anxious to facilitate the transferable of Krishna's pastime to Mathura, approached Kans and addressed him as follows: Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So few things we read in this on the shlok is, one is how Ariṣṭāsura was killed, and then how gopis are asking Lord Shri Krishna to go and do the Tirtha-sthan, visit all the tirths. How Lord Krishna invokes all the Tirtha-sthan's jal right there, and that becomes the Sham Kund, right? And then Radharani, of course, does her own thing, but then after glorification and praying of the representative of all the Tirtha-sthans, she also allows all that jal to come to Radha Pond. So that's how the Sham Kund and Radha Kund is there, right? And meanwhile, Narad Muni is going to Kans to make sure to facilitate the next pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna.
So, are these real lakes in Vrindavan?
Yeah, pond. Yeah, there are two big ponds. The water is very old, but whenever you go to Vrindavan and when you go to Giraji Parikrama, so in the Giraji Parikrama, one of the spots you will come to is the Radha Kund and Sham Kund. And pretty interesting. You'll always find people taking a bath or doing the japas and chantings at those places. Yeah, the water is old because I don't know how many centuries old it is.
Yeah.
But you still take a bath and you still just take the jal. And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Big Sham Kund and big Radha Kund. It's pretty nice. It's big, like it's not small, like it's pretty huge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it's on the way to, like when you're doing the Giraji Parikrama, it's one of the spots in between.
Okay.
Anisha?
यशोदायाः सुतां कन्यां देवक्याः कृष्णमेव च रामं च रोहिणीपुत्रं वसुदेवन बिभ्यता न्यस्तो स्वमित्रे नन्दे वै याभ्यां ते पुरुषा हताः. Narad told Kansa, Yashoda's child was actually a daughter and Krishna is the son of Devaki. Also, Ram is the son of Rohini. Out of fear, Vasudev entrusted Krishna and Balaram to his friends Nanda Maharaj, and it is their two boys who have killed your men. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so now Narad Muni is telling Kans, because Kans, as we know, he had heard, right, that the eighth son of Devaki will be killing him. And now Narad Muni actually goes and tells that Krishna is the one who is the eighth son of Devaki, right? Yashodaya Sutam Kanya, like Yashoda had a Kanya, Devakya Krishna Mevche, and Devaki se Krishna Bhagwan ka avatar hua. And so now, of course, Kans is kind of scared, right? Anilji? Anilji, mute karo. Anilji, mute pe ho aap.
Sorry. Kansa had been led to believe that Krishna was the son of Yashoda's and that Devaki's eighth child had been a daughter. The identity of Devaki's eighth child was extremely important to Kans because a prophecy had foretold that her eighth child would kill him. Here, Narad informs the king that the eighth child of Devaki was the formidable Krishna, thus implying that the prophecy should be taken very seriously. Having received this information, Kans obviously will now do everything in his power to kill Krishna and Balram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. सम्यत्व दोषपति है कोपात्र प्रचलित इंद्रिय है निशाकम सीमा दत्त वसुदेव जिंघासया. Upon hearing this, the master of the Bhujas became furious and lost control of his senses. He picked up a sharp sword to kill Vasudeva. So when he hears this from Narad Muni, he picks up a sharp sword to kill Vasudeva, who is, Vasudeva and Devaki. So, Anilji, Ajay?
Nivarito Narden Tatsutau Mrityumatmanaha Gyatva Lohamahe Posh Babandh Sah Bharvaya. But Narad restrained Kans by reminding him that it was the two sons of Vasudeva who would cause his death. Kans then had Vasudeva and his wife shackled in iron chains. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Kans actually went to kill Vasudeva, right? But then Narad Muni reminded that it's not Vasudeva who is going to kill him, it's the two sons of Vasudeva and Devaki. So then he still puts them in the chair, right? Tarun?
Kamsa realized that there was no use in killing Vasudeva, since it was Vasudeva's sons, Krishna and Balaram, who were to kill him. According to the Acharya, Akaryas, Narada also advised Kamsa that if he killed Vasudeva, the two young boys might flee, and that it was therefore better not to kill him. Rather, Narada recommended Kamsa should bring Krishna and Balaram to Kamsa's capital city, Mathura. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti points out that Narada did not act inimically towards the great devotees Vasudeva and Devaki when he revealed this information to Kamsa. In fact, as explained in the 11th canto, Vasudeva was grateful to Narada because he was arranging for Kamsa's death at Krishna's hands, and further arranging for Krishna to come and live in Mathura, where his loving father could associate with him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Reenaji?
प्रियादे तु देवर्षो कंस आभाष्य केशिनम् परिशयामास हन्येताम् भवता रामकेशवो. After Narad left, King Kans summoned Kesi and ordered him, go kill Ram and Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
ततो मुष्टिकचाणूरशलतो शलकादिकान् अमात्यान् हस्तिपांश्चैव समायुयाः भोजरात्. The king of Bhojas next called for his ministers, headed by Mustika, Chanura, and Sala and Toshal, and also his elephant keepers. The king addressed them as follows. Hare Krishna.
Vinodji?
भो भो निस्य म्यातामेदत् वीरचारु मुष्टिको नंद व्रजे किला साते सुतावन का दुभे राम कृष्णो ततो महाम मृत्युः किल निदर्शितः भवद्भयामि संप्राप्तो हन्येताम मल्ल लीला. My dear heroic Kanur and Mustika, please hear this. Ram and Krishna, the sons of Kadundubhi Vasudev, are living in Nand's cowherd village. It has been predicted that these two boys will be the cause of my death. When they are brought here, kill them on the pretext of engaging them in a wrestling match. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Chanur and Mustika are two Pelwans, and Kans is telling them, like, I'm going to call Balram and Lord Shri Krishna, and then he tells them to do a wrestling match, and he thinks that Krishna will be defeated. Yeah. So I think we are going to pause here. Yeah. We'll continue to read about this, how Lord Shri Krishna comes to Mathura and what happens from on Monday. And meanwhile, as we know, it was Ram Navami. So we are actually going to do Ram Raksha Stotam today. Yeah, it's very powerful. Like the Ram Raksha, Sri Ram Raksha Stotam is pretty powerful. You know, whenever it needs to be done, you can do that. But we will hear that it's little bit around 10-11 minutes, right? So, but we are going to hear that. And
कौशिक ऋषिः श्री सीतारामचन्द्रो देवता अनुष्टुप् छन्दः सीता शक्तिः श्रीमान् हनुमान् कीलकम् श्रीरामचन्द्र प्रीत्यर्थे रामरक्षा स्तोत्र जपे विनियोगः ध्यानम् ध्यायेदाजानुबाहुम् धृतशरधनुषम् बद्धपद्मासनस्थम् पीतं वासोवसानम् नवकमलदलस्पर्धिनेत्रम् प्रसन्नम् वामाङ्कारूढसीतामुखकमलमिलल्लोचनम् नीरदाभम् नानालङ्कारदीप्तम् दधतमुरुजटामण्डलम् रामचन्द्रम् चरितं रघुनाथस्य शतकोटिप्रविस्तरम् एकैकमक्षरम् पुंसाम् महापातकनाशनम् ध्यात्वा नीलोत्पलश्यामम् रामम् राजीवलोचनम् जानकी लक्ष्मणोपेतम् जटामुकुटमण्डितम् सासितूर्णधनुर्बाणपाणिम् नक्तम् चरान्तकम् स्वलीलया जगत्रातुमाविर्भूतमजम् विभुम् रामरक्षाम् पठेत् प्राज्ञः पापघ्नीम् सर्वकामदाम् शिरो मे राघवः पातु भालम् दशरथात्मजः कौसल्येयो दृशौ पातु विश्वामित्रप्रियश्रुति घ्राणम् पातु मखत्राता मुखम् सौमित्रिवत्सलः जिह्वाम् विद्यानिधिः पातु कण्ठम् भरतवन्दितः स्कन्धौ दिव्यायुधः पातु भुजौ भग्नेशकार्मुकः करौ सीतापतिः पातु हृदयम् जामदग्न्यजित् मध्यम् पातु खरध्वंसी नाभिम् जाम्बवदाश्रयः सुग्रीवेशः कटी पातु सत्थिनी हनुमत्प्रभुः ऊरू रघूत्तमः पातु रक्षः कुलविनाशकृत् जानुनी सेतुकृत् पातु जङ्घे दशमुखान्तकः पादौ विभीषणः श्रीरः पातु रामोऽखिलम् वपुः एताम् रामबलोपेताम् रक्षाम् यः सुकृती पठेत् स चिरायुः सुखी पुत्री विजयी विनयी भवेत् पातालभूतलव्योमचारिणश्छद्मचारिणः न द्रष्टुमपि शक्तास्ते रक्षितम् रामनामभिः रामेति रामभद्रेति रामचन्द्रेति वा स्मरन् नरो न लिप्यते पापैः भुक्तिम् मुक्तिम् च विन्दति जगज्जयित्रैकमन्त्रेण रामनाम्नाभिरक्षितम् यः कण्ठे धारयेत् तस्य करस्थाः सर्वसिद्धिः सिद्धयः वज्रपञ्जरनामेदम् यो रामकवचं स्मरेत् अव्याहताज्ञः सर्वत्र लभते जयमङ्गलम् आदिष्टवान् यथा स्वप्ने राम रक्षामि मां हरः तथा लिखितवान् प्रातः प्रबुद्धो बुधकौशिकः आरामः कल्पवृक्षाणां विरामः सकलापदाम् अभिरामस्त्रिलोकानां रामः श्रीमान् सनः प्रभुः तरुणो रूपसम्पन्नौ सुकुमारौ महाबलौ पुण्डरीकविशालाक्षौ क्षीरकृष्णाजिनाम्बरौ फलमूलाशिनौ दान्तौ तापसौ ब्रह्मचारिणौ पुत्रौ दशरथस्यैतौ भ्रातरौ रामलक्ष्मणौ शरण्यौ सर्वसत्त्वानां श्रेष्ठौ सर्वधनुष्मताम् रक्षः कुलनिहन्तारौ त्रायेतान्नो रघूत्तमौ आत्तसज्जधनुषा विशुस्पृशा वक्षयाशु गनिषङ्गसङ्गिनौ रक्षणाय मम राम लक्ष्मणावग्रतः पथि सदैव गच्छताम् सन्नद्धः कवची खड्गी चापबाणधरो युवा गच्छन्मनोरथान्नश्च रामः पातु स लक्ष्मणः रामो दाशरथिः शूरो लक्ष्मणानुचरो बली काकुत्स्थः पुरुषः पूर्णः कौसल्येयो रघूत्तमः वेदान्तवेद्यो यज्ञेशः पुराणपुरुषोत्तमः जानकीवल्लभः श्रीमान् अप्रमेयपराक्रमः इत्येतानि जपन्नित्यम् मद्भक्तः श्रद्धयान्वितः अश्वमेधाधिकम् पुण्यम् सम्प्राप्नोति न संशयः रामम् दूर्वादलश्यामम् पद्माक्षम् पीतवाससम् स्तुवन्ति नामभिर्दिव्यैः न ते संसारिणो नराः रामम् लक्ष्मणपूर्वजम् रघुवरम् सीतापतिम् सुन्दरम् काकुत्स्थम् करुणार्णवम् गुणनिधिम् विप्रप्रियम् धार्मिकम् राजेन्द्रम् सत्यसन्धम् दशरथतनयम् श्यामलम् शान्तमूर्तिम् वन्दे लोकाभिरामम् रघुकुलतिलकम् राघवम् रावणारिम् रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः श्रीराम राम रघुनन्दन राम राम श्रीराम राम भरताग्रज राम राम श्रीराम राम रणकर्कश राम राम श्रीराम राम शरणं भव राम राम श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ मनसा स्मरामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ वचसा गृह्णामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शिरसा नमामि श्रीरामचन्द्र चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता रामो मत्पिता रामचन्द्रः स्वामी रामो मत्सखा रामचन्द्रः सर्वस्वं मे रामचन्द्रो दयालुः नान्यं जाने नैव जाने न जाने दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम् लोकाभिरामम् रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रम् रघुवंशनाथम् कारुण्यरूपम् करुणाकरन्तम् श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम् आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् भर्जनं भवबीजानाम् अर्जनं सुखसम्पदां तर्जनं यमदूतानां राम रामेति गर्जनम् रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम् रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनामवरानने इति श्रीबुधकौशिकमुनिविरचितं श्रीरामरक्षास्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम् श्रीसीतारामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु।
बोलो श्याम रामचंद्र भगवान की
Jai.
जय
हनुमान की जय.
Jai.
So it was a nice Ram Navami celebration last week, and I think we heard pretty blissful bhajan yesterday, and today was Ram Raksha Stotram. Its lot of importance is given to Ram Raksha Stotram. People have seen immense value of that, right? So it was nice to hear that. And then, of course, we will take a long weekend break now, and we'll see you on Monday.
Do you have the URL for this Strot, Ram Raksha Strot, Bhaiya?
Yes, I will put it on the
Okay,
group.
thank you.
So, yeah,
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
everyone.
see you on Monday.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.